This is our first outward look at the second CahowCam chick, just 2 days old. Literally was hatched at 10:30 on Saturday night, I believe, and it is now about 10:30 in the morning on the Monday. All right, good morning, everybody. This is Jeremy Medeiros, Bermuda Government Terrestrial Conservation Officer, coming to you from Nonsuch Island, Bermuda, on a beautiful, almost spring-looking day on March 11th, 2019. And what I'm going to be doing this morning is just doing a quick check of the adult and the 2-day-old chick in the second CahowCam nest. We've left them alone for the first day so that they could bond, and because the chick is still a little fragile that first day and such, but it looks like a good, strong, robust chick. We'd really like to see who the adult was that was with it when the chick was hatched and who's been taking care of it, because this adult will be getting ready to fly out to sea probably tonight or tomorrow night, in order to start foraging for food out in the open ocean to feed the chicken, maybe even waiting for the return of its mate to give the chick the first real feed. The incubating bird will often give a quick feed to the chick, but it's just the remnants of what it has in its own gullet, more or less. So it's not a really good meal. It's just a stopgap meal. But yeah, so I'll be taking both birds out, the chick and the adult, put them in separate bags. I will do the chick first, very briefly, just to get a baseline weight of it, and then I'll put it back in the nest, and then I'll just take a look at the weight and the band number, and then I can sex the adult bird. So it'll all be quite a quick procedure. We want to disturb them as least as possible during these critical first few days after the chick hatches. So I'm just going to get right on with it here. Everything looks really good. The adult is just sitting quietly right next to the chick. The chick looks really good and robust. Yeah. So this is our first outward look at the second CahowCam chick, just 2 days old. Literally was hatched at 10:30 on Saturday night, I believe, and it is now about 10:30 in the morning on the Monday. Just going to get a quick weight of the chick. The chick is probably very, very light. I would guess anywhere from like 36 to 41 grams or so, which is more or less the hatch weight. Actually, well, it looks like the parent has managed to get some food, had some food left in its own gullet, and has given it its first feed already. At 2 days of age, it is already up to, let's see, 79. That's very good, 59 grams. So this has been an exceptionally good nesting pair, and this really shows it. I mean, that's actually very good. 59 grams. So that means that they've already given the chick about a 20-gram feed, more or less. Okay, so before I process the adult, I'm just going to put the chick very quickly back in the nest before the parent gets to. The parent's getting a little restless. Yeah, but he looks great, in good condition. You can see that egg tooth on the tip of the bill very prominently, and I thought he felt a little fat for a newborn, basically for a newly hatched bird. So that's a really good sign that the parents are already feeding it, and this is his first real look at the outside world and everything, which is really nice. Okay. Go back to the adult and see if it's mommy or daddy that we have to thank. Ah, yeah, this has been a very good nesting pair through the years. They've had a good breeding success, and they're also one of the largest pairs of cahows. Both the male and female are really good weight, and this bird is in fact very heavy. It almost looks like this bird has like there's been a transfer during the night, possibly. Like the other birds come back, because this bird's nearly 400 grams. Let's see, it is phenomenally high. 300. It is 400, so that's 379 grams. That's very, very heavy for an incubating adult. And it makes me wonder if one of the parent that was with the chick when it hatched disappeared out the other night of the nest for a while, and then we thought the same bird came back in and resumed taking care of the chick, brooding it. But I'm thinking now that the male, and this looks like the male bird, I'll be able to tell in a minute, that the other bird came back and actually they switched at that time. That's what it's starting to look like. So I will be able to tell you in a minute, because there's no way a bird that had been incubating an egg for that long should still be this heavy. So just check the band number on its leg. This is the male bird, yeah. So it's E0174. That's one of the true benefits of banding all of these birds. And these birds were all banded as chicks. This bird was actually translocated as a chick from, I believe it is Horn Rock, in 2005. And the female was also banded and translocated here as a chick in 2005 from a totally different island in Repair Rock. So they both returned in on such. They've been nesting since 2009. So yeah, so this is the male bird. So I think a transfer took place the other night when the first bird probably heard the second bird arrive, because there's just no way that this bird has been incubating that egg for like over a week, like we know the bird that was with the chick when it hatched did. So that's the male bird. Looks in very good shape. I'm just going to take him out briefly before I put him back, and he'll probably stay with the chick for another day or two and then go. And you can see it's a particularly large and handsome bird. I'm not going to keep him out too long and disturb him. I want to get him back in with the chick as quickly as possible. So yeah, so that is Papa Bird. And that's why these checks sometimes are absolutely necessary to really get an idea of what in the world is going on. So just release him into the nest, and there he goes. And as we'll see in the camera on the CahowCam, generally they just go right back to, sitting with the chick and taking care of the chick. Yeah, so that seems to have solved the mystery. We had the bird that had been incubating the egg for about a good week, and that had been with the chick when it hatched. It went out the other night for a fairly short time, and then we thought the same bird came in and took over, brooding the chick, and we assumed it was the same bird. But what it appears happened was that I think it was the female bird that had been with the chick when it first hatched, that the male bird had arrived. She had heard him arrive at the entrance, so she went out to greet him. And because she saw he was back and, he had food ready to feed the chick and everything, she departed right on out to sea. He came in, and he has obviously fed the chick. And how I get this is, A, he's still very heavy, so there's no way he'd be this heavy if he had been incubating the egg for that long, and B, the chick has obviously just been fed, and fed much more than the incubating bird normally can give it. It can give it a few grams from residue in its own stomach, but that's like a complete feed now. So that's why these checks sometimes, we do try not to bother the birds any more than we absolutely have to, and we keep them up very briefly, as you see, but sometimes the checks are essential to really decipher what exactly is happening. That's a very clear, line of evidence that shows. So I suspect he's fed the bird. He'll probably stay with it for another day or two. He might depart tonight. He might depart in a couple of nights. But they're basically now in the mode of going out to see 2 to 5 day trips, get food, and shuttle it back to the chick, and only spend a short period of time in the chick. They may stay over for the first couple of weeks, the occasional night or two, but that becomes rarer because they have to fly further and further to gather food for an insatiable chick. The chick's appetite just really increases as it grows. Great, so we know what's happened now, and everything looks really good, really healthy chick. The adult looks healthy and well fed, so all looks good for the CahowCam2 chick. Okay, Jeremy Medeiros and JP Rouge are behind the camera, speaking to you on a beautiful spring-like morning on Nonsuch Island. And everybody have a great day.